I'm Ashley French Gray, and I was brought on by the owner of the company to talk to you about the Oil Lounge's IT difficulties, strategic risk it's facing, and some recommendations I have for you as the top tier management to implement as you see fit in order to minimize the company's risk and also enhance its competitive advantage. Part of the root of these problems occurred because the Oil Lounge originally started out as brick and mortar stores and also a catalog. So orders that were not being sold in the stores directly, that were coming in via the mail, via the catalog early on in the company's life, set forth a certain way of processing things. And now that the company is no longer doing catalogs, but has moved on to doing online sales where customers are placing their orders online, and also the brick and mortar stores that are carrying the product are also using the online store now to replenish their inventory. Some of the old legacy systems that were originally in place from the catalogs are still there and lingering and causing difficulties and inefficiencies among your system, and they're also presenting significant risk to the company's data security and also the security it has in maintaining competitive advantage and market share. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth about these and a few other things that I've noticed during my evaluation of your company. And also, again, I'm going to go through some steps that you can consider taking as upper management in order to minimize the risk and enhance the ability of an IT system to take your company further and beyond to a next level. So first, let's go through what is in place at this moment in your company. Currently, you're using a shared host provider. This provider is providing you data storage and back office functions, and it's storing your data on servers in a data center that you share with other companies that are also this provider's customer. Now, over the past few years, you have received pretty reliable service from this provider, only having scheduled down times, which they're pretty good about making in the middle of the night, so you haven't seen disruptions in business for the most part. However, I was reading through your contract with them, and there is no service guarantee at this point. And also your contract, although it has been renewed yearly, it seems a little out of touch with your current needs. It doesn't allow for a lot of flexibility and adjustments as your company grows and evolves. And it seems that you're being sold services you're not exactly using to the full potential. So I recommend, we're going to talk about looking into that a little further. Another thing, one of the main reasons the owner brought me in is because this service provider had a data breach. Fortunately, according to the provider, none of your information was actually put at risk. You weren't one of the companies that had their data breached. However, it did take the provider 4 months before they realized that they had been hacked. This is potentially very dangerous if customers' information, especially payment, credit card, saved information that you guys have in your systems right now, had been hacked and nobody had noticed for 4 months. That could have been perpetually a public relations and customer nightmare. So we're going to talk about how we can maybe mitigate risk of that potentially happening in the future, and the importance of doing that I think is pretty clear, but we'll also talk about it a little bit more. Also, let's just address really quick your current internal process. Right now, you kind of had some overlays in your system, some old existing systems left over from the good old catalog days that have merged with the technology of the website, but a lot of things are still being done in an old-fashioned, inefficient manner. Currently, when an order is placed online, an alert is sent to your customer service agent. He or she then has to physically by hand fill out a picking order form. That is sent down to the warehouse. I know 2 runs are done per day, one in the morning and one in the evening of the different orders that have come through since the last one. The warehouse manager then is usually responsible for delegating out who will go pick the order, packaging, shipping, and then he then submits a different form form at the end of the day to the inventory control team so that they can keep track of what has gone out the door. Now, this is a lot of inefficiencies, it's a lot of wasted time, and we're going to talk about ways that you could use IT to help streamline a lot of those processes, open up some more of that valuable time those managers are spending, and then also eliminate some inefficiencies. Now I want to address with you the real meat of this presentation. What are the risks to you and your company at this moment, and what should you do about them? Right now, your current host provider, in my opinion, signifies a substantial risk for security and external attacks. These external attacks could have grave consequences to your company. If an attack happened like what happened to your provider, but on this time on your data server, things such as your customers' data could get out there, their shipping and ordering histories that you keep track of, their credit card information, billing information, social security numbers that you've set up for wholesale accounts. All of these things are stored in those data systems. And this company, although it has reliable service, does not have a great record for reliable security. So I would recommend looking into a provider that has a higher level of security, and also maybe we'll put into the contract a service guarantee, meaning that if they fail or there is a reliability issue, they are on the hook monetarily to compensate you for the issues that it could potentially cause you. Some of the risk of a data breach, again, as we talked about, would be your customer data getting out there, competitors getting a hold of this information, identity thieves getting a hold of this information, the public relations nightmare that may cause loss of confidence with your customers. These are all very real potential issues that could cause extreme damage to your company, if not irrevocable damage to your company. Some smaller risk that I think you're taking would be that competitors, if they know you have a weak service provider, may potentially do external attacks in order to bring down your service. They're called DOS, destruction of service attacks. And they could potentially use that against you in order to disrupt the service you provide your customers, creating customer dissatisfaction, losing out on orders. In order to decrease your chances of an attack, to decrease your chances of having significant issues in the future, and also taking advantage of some of the things IT has to offer in ways of enhancing your business, creating more competitive advantage, and helping to keep competitors from gaining in on your market share, are in my recommendations outlined in the presentation you have. But we're going to talk about them just briefly real quick. First would be to upgrade your service provider to a dedicated hosting service provider. This is somebody who dedicates the server just to your company. It's a little more expensive, it's a lot safer, and I think you're going to see that the service is also on par, but you also will have that peace of mind that somebody may be attacking just a general server or attacking somebody that also has information on the same server as you do. It helps mitigate those risks a bit. Also, I think you need to really look into hiring a CIO, Chief Information Officer. I notice your company doesn't have one, and at this point in your company's growth stage, the website is becoming more and more important, the internal process is becoming more and more important to your growth, and I think hiring somebody who has a lot of expertise in not only designing systems for service-oriented architecture, that would be the internal process, trying to manage some of the orders coming in and getting rid of those inefficiencies between shipping and picking and inventory. I think you need someone who's already experienced how to design firewalls, how to make good choices in regards to service providers, security choices, how to mitigate risk, what to choose and when, because of course we can't protect against everything, so some things do come down to what we have to spend and what's most important to us. I also think this person needs to be someone who is extremely up to date on industry standards, the trends. They also will probably be able to tell you how to use IT to grow your marketing, be able to track inventory a little better, know which products are hot and what things are flying off the shelf versus things that are sitting in inventory, gathering dust, etc. Another recommendation would be to, again, design and implement an SOA system to help eliminate inefficiencies and create competitive advantage. Also, I think you need to formulate a protocol for dealing with security and service failures. It's very important because nothing is 100%, that you have a team that is designed to go into action and knows what to do should there be a security issue. And I think a knowledgeable CIO will definitely be able to form that team, also maybe a committee that helps design some of these programs and gets people from the different departments involved to make sure they're usable by all the components in your company. Also, I think you need to educate your users and update your login security systems. I've noticed that a lot of your customers have very mundane, easy to guess username and passwords that haven't been updated for years and years and years. And while that's convenient, I think we need to be educating them on why that's unsafe, especially those who are storing billing, company information, credit card information, etc. It's really important that they are protecting themselves by having safe and secure logins. Also, you are a big part of this team. As upper management, you set the stage for the importance on this issue. And I think it would be beneficial for you guys to schedule regular meetings with your new CIO in order to continually be updated on what's going on, what are the risks, where are we investing, what are we doing about the trends that we're seeing, etc. I provided in this presentation my suggested implementation plan and timeline. Again, it is up to you, but these are, as an expert in the field, my recommendations. Thank you for your time. Hope this has been helpful to you, and I hope that you will seriously consider taking and putting in some of my recommendations, because I think you will see tremendous results. Have a great day.